Welcome back to the All I Ever Wanted podcast. We're here at the beautiful Central Social Hall again, so thank you very much to Central for allowing us to use this beautiful space. I'm Chris, you all know that. We've got a new guest on today, but I'm going to warn you right now, this is going to be as real as shit as you're going to hear. So if you don't like hearing facts, if you like listening to bullshit on the internet about health, mental health, fitness, well-being, if you like taking the weak side of it, save your time, unfollow, unsubscribe, and definitely do not watch this video. But if you want the type of information that's going to get you somewhere, it's going to make you a better person, it's going to make you the best version of you, not comparing yourself to anyone else, I am now going to introduce today's guest. This is my boy Ethan. Runs a podcast himself. Fight Me on This. That's his page. We'll have all of his information. He'll include all of it, but I'm going to throw it over to him right now.
How is it going, man? Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a fucking hoot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We may get canceled because no one likes to hear the truth.
Well, you know, see how long it lasts.
We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully, well, by the time you hear this, we're still live. So, we align quite a bit in the things that we discuss. We're advocates of starting all of your journeys with the strongest version of you. And whether you discuss it physically, metaphysically, emotionally, mentally, whichever stone that you build it off, it always comes down to some type of health. Mm-hmm. How would you like to lead this podcast off? Just hit it however you want. I love the way you say it. So let's start going. Offend some people if you have to.
Offend some people if I have to. I'm gonna offend a bunch of people, and I'm gonna start this by saying I'm an expert because I've lived it, and that's it. I've lived this thing.
All right, podcast over.
I've lived this thing. I've dropped 100 pounds over COVID when everybody said it was impossible. I've repaired
Everybody else gained weight over COVID, and I watched you just drop shit.
I didn't cheat the system. I fixed a knee that, multiple tears. I blew my knee and fixed it without surgery. I told every professional they'd go fuck themselves, and I did it myself. I'm a walking testament to yes, the fuck you can. And I keep trying to show people that yes, the fuck you can.
And you did. You're not in the middle of yes, you can. You did, and now you're still improving.
I did. I continue to do, and I will continue to do because I got a world to change out here. There's too many people that don't know that they can because nobody's fucking told them. This is where I get my shit from because everybody tells you can. You spend your whole life. Imposter syndrome, all that shit as an entrepreneur, whatever the fuck it is. It comes from somebody else, but somehow along the way it got attached to our voice, and we keep telling ourselves we ain't shit. No, it's so much more fucking fun over here knowing that I am him. You can't fucking tell me that I'm not. 100 pounds over COVID. I didn't have a gym except for in my goddamn garage. I used my neurodivergent brain to make this thing happen, and then I took my clients on the same journey, except for my oldest female client that does powerlifting, put 50 kilos on her total, got stronger, didn't just lose weight.
50 kilos.
We went off together. She wanted to get strong, I wanted to lose weight and see who the fuck I was, and I did it with other people. My whole client base has a taste of this thing. I run a whole challenge right now based off this because it's fucking proven to work. All I did was believed I fucking could.
So it all started right here.
It is mindset on mindset on mind. I've been weak. I've been weak-minded. Childhood trauma for 10 years, domestic abuse, sexual assault. I've survived some fucking horrific shit, and I've been weak and victim-minded. And you know what? When I say weak, I don't mean that I'm talking shit, because I understand what it's like to not know any different until I chose to know different. I chose to do what I needed to do to heal because somebody encouraged me to do it. I had that one bit of community that said, I'm going to need you to do something to change to be better. And when I finally decided to be better, I didn't know how fucking great I was going to be. That is everybody's possibility. You can come and fucking try to fight me on it, but it's not going to go your way because I genuinely fucking believe that everybody can get a taste of this. You don't have to be me. I'm just laying out the black print.
And I like that you said that. Nobody has to be you. They just got to be the best version of themselves. I don't give a fuck that I'm not super tall. I can't change that, but you know what I can do?
He can't dunk.
That's because of this, not because of my height. Doesn't mean I can't ball though, man.
I didn't say you can't ball. I just said you can't
dunk. That's absolutely true. But yeah, very few people, converse and dialogue the way that Ethan does, and I think it offends the weak, and it inspires those who want change. So how do you bridge the gap between the people who just right off the bat say, oh, it sounds great, but I can't do that, and the ones who are already like, I'm ready for the change, I like what you're saying? So how do you, when they already want to, that's 99% of the battle, because the next day
you're going to have to want it.
You're going to have to want it.
I tell people
what do you do when people come in, because so many people have the excuse, now modern society, they're pre-programmed with excuses, like you said, I'm just going to fail if I attempt, so why bother? It'll make me feel bad. What, other than physically smacking them upside the head, what technique, what type of talking to, like, where do you start to remove that bullshit, I can't?
Yeah, you know, I've lived my life in hell. The devil himself is afraid of me. I know darkness better than most people will ever begin to understand shade. In that comes my obligation to carry the lantern. I don't have to say shit to people. I don't got to convince people by the time they get to my door or by the time they get to my inbox. They've already made a decision whether or not this is for them. Because I say up front, you are going to have, this will be the fucking hardest thing you've ever done, because it's still the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But it's worth it. Every single step. I don't have to bridge the gap, because this will not work if you do not want it. This is literally doable by everybody. But it's not for everybody, because you have to fucking want it. You have to want to know what's on the other side of the question. What can I do? You got to want to know every day. I PR'd every day just because I wanted to know if I could. Could I do something spectacular with my body every day and show myself every day that the voices that I've been believing for 32 years are full of fucking shit? That's all I was doing, was silencing the voices. Every time I thought I couldn't, I proved I could. It's the easiest place to do it, is in the fucking gym. There's no consequences. What's a little bit of discomfort? What's a muscle burn? In the longevity of, if you've ever experienced hardship in your life, what is a little bit of discomfort in the fucking gym? To answer the question, can I? Man, fuck miss me with this gym as a Band-Aid. It's a fucking tool.
Oh wow. A Band-Aid? It is not a Band-Aid. It corrects everything in your life, from the mindset you wake up with. Don't forget the fact that it helps you sleep at night. If you have an anxiety problem, if you have self-diagnosed depression problems, take your ass to the gym, work out for 90 minutes. You're too tired to focus on the shit you think is a problem. So you get a good night's sleep and you wake up in the morning and you don't scroll through social media looking for some negative shit that tells you why you're going to fail. You get up and you're like, yeah, I'm sore, but god damn do I feel. I'm going back to the gym today. That's how you start your day, instead of, fuck, it's Monday or Wednesday or whatever fucking day you don't like because of the life you put yourself in.
I mean, like, fuck Mondays.
Yeah, what the fuck is Monday?
But get it and do it anyways. And that's this thing. That's why I said that, you know, fuck the gym being a Band-Aid, because this is, for me, more than just the gym. This is wellness. I don't train, I move my body. I average 4 to 5 hours a day of movement, like intentional, whether I'm walking, whether I'm stretching, whether I'm playing football as a semi-pro ball player right now, whether I'm moving my body to train for football, all of these things.
Playing football after he blew his knee out to the point where he was told he wouldn't walk.
Didn't miss a season. You know, all of these things feed into the well-being. Literally, like, you got to think that if I don't get up in the morning and start my routine by getting my steps in, getting my stretch on, and getting into an audiobook, I'm not going to get out of this bed.
So you're training your brain too.
That was my thing. I knew I couldn't do it because I want to fucking scroll social media when I wake up. I want to see what everybody else is doing. And I knew that I was going to have to shake the foundation of who I was if I wanted to know who I actually was. So I got up and I said, if I have to throw myself out of this goddamn bed, I'm stretching the first thing in the morning. My alarm goes off, I'm on the floor. There were multiple times that I hit that floor real hard because I just was not feeling it. The moment I was done stretching, it was brush my teeth, earbuds in, and on the walk I went. Grab my coffee, and I would listen to an audiobook for half an hour. That was my me time. That was my time to, like, breathe. That was when you saw the videos of me walking and shooting, and all I was doing was just trying to answer questions about myself. It was always for me.
Did you find you connected with a lot more people when you were trying to find yourself as well?
Of course.
That's when you drew the people in, eh?
Of course, because I was sharing somebody's experience real time in front of them. When I share my story, I share it because I know that there are so many people that are suffering because they feel alone. You know, I'm working on trauma-informed care work right now because if you're a teacher and you don't have trauma-informed care, you're useless, because my entire school life someone should have stopped what happened to me. Someone should have been able to be there.
Identify where the problem started.
Right? Yeah. So now that's where I get to do work, and I share my story so that some kid, some teenager sees it when I coach football and goes, hey, coach, can we talk? I've had hundreds of those moments. I've had crisis calls talking people off of ledge of suicide because I have shared openly about my suicide attempts. I have counseled people out of shit situations because they know I've already been there. It's about carrying the lantern. I cannot do this for people, but I can fucking show you that I know the way out.
Yeah, you can hold the door, but their ass gotta walk through.
I'm gonna hold that lantern and say, come on. I'm still here. I'm back doing this work because I fucking choose to. But I'm here doing this so that other people see that they fucking can. Again, there it is. There's my mantra. Because I fucking can. Because you can. Yes, the fuck you can. Like, I'm done with this can't shit. I'm done with people sitting at home on their ass because somebody killed it in them 10 years ago. Then be great for your fucking self. Yeah. You'll see how many people gravitate towards you and your new community gets built because you worked on you.
There it is. This was not scripted at all. In a roundabout way, what does every podcast come down to? Go sit at the right fucking tables. If you sit at a table that just discuss gossip, bullshit, spending money they don't need to, talking about how going to the gym is a waste of time and all that kind of shit, you're going to start believing it. You just get off that seat, go sit at the table that says, I bet you can do better. Because I'm doing better. I'm going to do better. You can watch me do better. You can stay down there if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guarantee you, if you're the least fit person at your table, your jeans are a little too tight, or you're having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, I guarantee you within a few weeks, you don't want to be that person anymore. You're going to average out with your table. And that's basically what he said. Just find a new group that thinks just a little different, that acts just a little different.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. It's such an old cliche. And I used to hate that because I never had family. I had to choose my family. I had to, choose the gang life. I had to choose the violent life. I had to choose the people that would bleed for me. And that was a survival tool then. But to hear that those people weren't good for me, like, what do you mean they're the reason I'm still breathing? I've bled for them and they've bled for me. How could that be toxic until you get to grow a little bit and see, yeah, they saved your life, but your life was in danger. And I've missed that. People that have lived life like I have missed the point that we were in danger first. Like, we were just, community is such a funny thing, especially dealing with, how much we don't want to deal with people.
Oh, absolutely. That's not me every day. I do not want to deal with most of the people I talk to.
I just have such a funny, I'm in the business of people for how much I can't stand most of y'all. But at the core of
Tell me how you really feel, my friend. Come on.
But at the core of my being, the work that I do is for the people. It's to make this world better. It's to leave.
You can't build soldiers to fight the battle on not the weak, but to fight the battle to make the world a better place with marshmallows. Whether it's a marshmallow body, a marshmallow mind, just that whole mindset. You cannot fight the war on the mental health and all that if no one is strong enough to even stand up.
I saw a little video clip LL Cool J was saying, I said I was a good man. I didn't say I was a nice man.
We're seldom are they the same thing.
But we get that shit twisted as good men or nice men. A good man, if I see an old lady get mugged and I chase that dude down and beat the shit out of him, that does not make me a nice man, but it makes me a good man. I'd rather be a good man because I'm here to leave this planet as one. When my time's done and this work will take me off this fucking planet in one way or another, we joke about it off the top, but it's we know. But I would rather go down doing this motherfucking work than to go down sitting, watching me do fuck all about it.
Waiting for it to happen, watching it happen.
Someone else can. Someone else will. It's not theirs to do.
No.
It's fucking mine. Yeah. It's mine to do. What the fuck? No one can do what I do. I prove that shit to myself all the goddamn time. Nobody can do what I do. So I better get to fucking doing it.
Yeah, because no one's going to do it for you, and it's not anyone else's job.
You better get to fucking doing it.
Absolutely.
And you better get to fucking doing it.
Do you find, we're going to switch
absolutely
directions a little bit. Would you also say then the moment that people get complacent with failure and not succeeding, mainly because whether it's because someone told them they never were, or it's going to be too difficult, or it's going to hurt for a little bit, whatever reason is that people don't believe they can do it, do you think that's what leads to society expecting other people to make the good change in the world? When we say, oh, it's law enforcement's job, it's our politicians' job, it was our parents'
human nature.
Job.
Yeah. It is human nature. It's been that way for a long time. There's studies done, and forgive me because my brain does not hold information this way, but there's a story out of, let's say, Brooklyn. Assault happens on the street. People are watching it happen. Nobody does fuck all. The bystander effect is what it's called.
Oh, the phones come out, though.
Right? And now, in this day and age, it's the phone's out, but the bystander effect is someone else will help. The risk of injury to me is too great, so someone else can help. I can see other people, but you can, and when you do, he will, they will.
Yes, and you have the numbers.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the bystander effect goes both ways, because when you actually step in, other people realize, oh shit,
that's also
it's step
action.
In.
Yes.
So I think unfortunately it's human nature, and it's why as communal creatures it's so easy to get tied up in trendy, in wavy, in movements that don't necessarily benefit us, because so many people are doing it, and I just don't have the fucking energy, the willpower to argue with it right now. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna get along. I'm gonna go along to get along. In trauma, it's called Stockholm syndrome, going along to get along. I can speak to that because 10 years of child abuse will let you know that I dated a parent for the first decade of my life, which is super fucked up, and it's a story for another time. But to the credit, it's human nature to survive. And by definition, going along to get along in any substantial way is a survival tool that we all know. When you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you have nothing left, that's survival tool time. And if it means that it risks nothing and someone else's problem happens to someone else, it's someone else's fucking problem. And that's the unfortunate side of human nature.
Yeah, you comfort zone your entire life. It's too much difficulty, too much thought, too much pain to change your course of action. So I'm going to stay in my comfort zone, even though day by day your comfort zone is taking you backwards.
Yeah.
There's no I've never seen anyone advance in comfort.
No, there's nothing. Nothing grows in the shade. It's great and it's neat and it's safe and it's tucked in, but nothing grows there. You can't expect to do fuck all in your life that you want to do that you don't have if you're going to stay comfortable. My favorite time of day is being uncomfortable. Outside of hanging with you and watching you try to jump to dunk. But
there he goes.
It really is, because if I'm uncomfortable, I know I'm onto something big. I know something big is, I'm onto that. I'm down that trail of, oh fuck, what's next? What are we gonna do? How many podcasts can we get done? Who are we gonna piss off? What's this thing? What's this next email? Whatever it is, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you're gonna change your life. You sit in that fucking comfort zone, and you're going to watch this episode and the next episode and the next episode and the next episode, and nothing's going to fucking change, and you're going to have wasted 5 hours of time like you continue to waste time anyway.
Yeah, I've actually found that as kind of a juxtaposition of everything that we do. While we want to reach people, and it benefits us if you watch what we're doing, we don't want you sitting there watching hours and hours of our stuff, because that means you've wasted your day. Take these little pieces and then apply it to your life. Come back in a few days, watch another episode, get inspired. I don't like the word motivation. You should not need someone else to get motivated. You motivate you. We will inspire you to take that next step, but only you can motivate yourself.
Absolutely.
Like you said, if you don't want to change,
it's not going to happen.
God himself or herself or whatever you want to call it will not force you to change.
No. I want to break the stereotype or the stigma that it's a healthy lifestyle. I'm like, no, I live a healthy life. The lifestyle was where I learned how to do these things freely. When I learned how to cook, one of my favorite things and one of the things I'm best at is making high protein meals in under 20 minutes. Making concoctions and mixing flavors and all this shit, and I can be as jacked as I want to be, and my wife is happy, my friends are happy, my clients are happy because I share the recipes with them, and making really good home cooked meals and sharing it with the public. I don't have to do that type of shit. I don't. Why? Well, who does it benefit? It benefits me because it tickles my soul to make great food, and I get to share that with somebody else, who then gets to share it with somebody else, who then gets to share it with somebody else, and maybe 5 people down the line they go, that's a habit.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He created a habit. It's a piece of what he does. When I don't do it, I hate it. I'm a different person.
I want to take 30-second step back, and I want, because you brought up your other half.
Mm-hmm.
As dedicated to fitness as you are.
Absolutely, she is.
So the dynamic when you see relationships that, well, we use the word fail because I don't know a better one. They have nothing in common other than maybe just physical attraction. You guys can do, the way you guys align with everything that you go, that is a healthy ass relationship. Forget about health as in the word that we've been discussing before, but you guys align with almost everything, the way you think, the way you go throughout your days. That creates a successful relationship. That's not even a point that we originally discussed on. We just discussed on self-improvement. Now you just went to be like, well, my partner is exactly the same way.
Yeah, and she has to be, because when shit gets ugly, like, what do we have to fall on? When I don't want to talk to her, when she doesn't want to talk to me, if we didn't have the foundation of health, of fitness, of even when I'm mad, like, there's a meal on the table for her. It's these things that align with us physically and the way we want to live our life that allows us to grow together when shit gets difficult. When shit's uncomfortable, all of those things matter. And, she doesn't think like I do. We align healthily. But, she has a different lens than I do. And that is the healthiest part of our relationship, because she challenges me and I challenge her, and we have to have some difficult and uncomfortable talks, there's that word again, so that we can get comfortable for the next time that this happens.
Growth doesn't come without a difference of opinion.
Like, it's if you're not building your circle, and my partner is a big piece of my circle, if it's not built to support you in what you're fucking doing, you're gonna fail.
Yep.
I say I'm sorry because it's like this national default as a human being, but I'm not fucking sorry for saying that. One of my best friends, a guy that has bled for me, that I've broken bones with, 15, 20 years of friendship. We one day realized, like, if I was going to go do this thing and heal, like, I had to put this life down. I had to put that shit away for a bit, and that meant him too. Yep. And people aren't ready to let go of stuff like that in order to grow. Not once have we ever fought. Not once has he ever talked shit behind my back. Not once have I said anything fucking foul about him. He still supports me. He still checks in once a year, give or take. He likes my stuff. He shares it when it lands with him. He encourages me to keep being this motherfucker that I am. A completely different version of the man that he's known his entire life. I had to evolve my circle into people that were going to support me to do the work that I do now. And that is the piece that we all so goddamn often miss. From partner to business partner, you are in control of crafting who supports you when shit gets nasty.
People don't want to make that decision because they need the external validation, and it's usually from negative people. Your boy when you've got the right people, they don't leave when they know you're going through change. They're the same person. They still support you even if you are going through tougher times. They'll be, if you call him, I guarantee you, a motherfucker like that, you call him, be like, I need you in 5 minutes.
I could do it right now, real time.
And he'll be here.
Yeah. He'd be here if I had to be like, hey, my truck's dead. He'd be here. Yeah. No questions asked. I guarantee. And that's a big part of the time and dedication to growth that I've put in.
That's the identification of who's real in your life.
Here's the bit that shits me. And the bit that you have to be okay with is, like, he hasn't. Of course I want to see this man succeed. Of course I want to see my brother grow into the dude that I know he can be. But it's not my story. It's not my job. Because it's all out here for those that want it.
Yeah, it goes back to, if they don't want it, you could be the best example for them, but if they don't want it...
Changes nothing about how I feel about the man.
No.
He just doesn't want it. And that's fucking okay. The same way with my clients and potential clients. If you don't want it, that's okay. I have 15 other trainers that I know. Tell me what your specificity is, and I'll send you to them. I trust them. But I have something that isn't just about the gym. This is going to change your fucking life. Some people just aren't ready for that, and that's okay. But if you are,
well,
let me
steps.
fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Let me fucking tell you. It's so much more fun over here, I promise.
Yeah, the way Ethan does things, you either have to be fully committed, or, like he said, maybe take his advice on who to help you with the first step through the door, because Ethan doesn't. There aren't baby steps through Ethan's programs. It's only results orientated. It's not, how do you feel about this? Like you do work with mental health,
Absolutely.
but you're not going to let excuses come up. You are going to
can talk to me while you're yelling at me under a deadlift or in a plank or whenever, because that's what I'm doing. I want you to go there. In my life, these horrors are still here. Like, don't get it twisted. Nothing, all of the healing I've done, nothing's fucking changed what's happened to me. But now I've converted all of that horror into something beautiful. I get to share my story. I get to change the world. I get to have conversations like this freely. I get to have those calls, intervene in crisis. All of the beautiful things in this life that I get to do came from me realizing that in that horror is so much fucking beauty. When we're in the gym and you're trying to find out just how strong you are, you're going to have to answer some fucking questions about who you are as a person, which means we got to break you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean I'm going to kill you. It means if you did 10, I know you have 15, and don't you fucking lie to me, because everybody, including my 65-year-old, proves that shit to herself every time she's in here. So while I'm suffering, pushing 55 reps of something next to you, going to that place to deal with whatever bullshit in my day I got to deal with, you are going to go there freely because I'm still holding the fucking lantern. But you gotta go.
You gotta go. Yeah. I'm tired just listening. But I think an important part here is the fact that you said you are willing to face it. The training is the outlet to express it in your manner that made it comfortable for you to deal with. Because a lot of people just tuck it in a corner, and then it affects everything they do. They treat people poorly. They think little of themselves. It just, if you don't deal with it somehow, because what's the big word in the world? Communication. Mm-hmm. But if you expect everyone else to communicate, but you're not even communicating your problems, the fact that you can sit here, talk about it, is a whole, it changes the game when you can talk. It doesn't make it okay, no. But if you can talk about it, then other people can relate. And then you can't go relate lie to me either. Exactly, because it's going to come out.
You can. Go ahead and lie to me.
And you've seen it.
I'm going to tell you right now, going through as much trauma as we have, and people who've gone through trauma, who've done a little bit of healing, know we get some superpowers that come with it, because you cannot motherfucking lie to me. But you're also incapable, because you are just fucking lying to you. It matters not. You have to leave my gym in 90 minutes. You're going to have to go. What you tell me doesn't matter. What you don't tell me doesn't matter, because it's got to go with you or not when you leave this place. I'm trying to equip you for what happens after 90 minutes, when there's no more group, when there's no more me, when there's no more safe space for you, because the gym is a weird thing, like the barbershop used to be. Trainers hear a lot of shit, like a lot of shit. But in the group community, you don't have to tell me something's wrong. I know it when you walk in my motherfucking gym, because that's the area that I have created. That is the space that this community has agreed to do to get better. But you're just lying to you. And if you're doing that, the fuck are you doing in my gym? You got to be real, because you got to want it. And you got to want it. So you got to be real.
And people with that, whether you want to call it trauma, stress, overloaded mind, whatever the fuck it is, they walk differently. People don't realize that. They think they can hide it. Like you said, you can't lie. Your mouth may lie. The words that come out may lie. But your posture, the way you hold your head up, the way your eyes connect with another person,
the way you react to things around you.
Reaction is huge, huge. We know you're hiding something.
When you know someone's dead inside, there's no reaction.
That's a horrible thing to look at.
There's no reaction. There's this aloof, just nothing. And it sucks. And I know the feeling. There's still days that, oh God, in the last 6 months, there's been many days that I've walked around like that. Just that look of not even hopeless, just nothing. Like you could bump into them. They wouldn't even notice it happened. You know, dissociation is king for me the last little bit. And that state's it's a noticeable, tangible look on somebody. You can't lie.
They probably don't look like that after 90 minutes with you, do they?
No, most people actually leave smiling. It's weird because how much they hate and cuss and swear at me and leave sweating. Some of them have to crawl up my stairs. I have a really big third step on the way out of my house for some reason, and that one gets people on leg day sometimes. But they're always smiling, or they're laughing, or they've made a new friend because they met somebody. You know, this space, this community that I've helped facilitate to create is stunning in its ability to accept people for who they are, to bring them in and to say, let's fucking do this together. I got my own goals, but we're going to work on them together.
When you work on them together, you also heal as a group. You find out who will be there, because they'd never just discredit what your trauma is because maybe theirs is more or yours is less or whatever it is. When people have gone through some real shit, they don't put it in a hierarchy of whose shit's more important. When you get in the right group of support, in this particular one where you're all using your physicality to rebuild your mental state, no one thinks they're better than anyone else. They're like, as a team, I may progress quicker than you, but you know what that means? It means I can put my hand back down, bring you up when you don't want
Let me lay out how the first 6 months of this went. I went full psychopath with this. I needed to know the better version.
You do go psycho, full psycho.
I do. I have to, because I knew for me it's all in. I realized I couldn't do this hand by hand. I had to get it done. And what wound up happening was I needed to know how good I was. If I've been into the gym for 15 years now and still done the 8 to 12 reps, the strength training, everything I learned in school, and nothing's changed. I was 270 pounds, still playing ball. Like something, then this isn't working for me. So there's got to be something else. The fitness industry and the health industry grows and evolves so fucking much. I took things that I learned from multiple different people and applied it to my life. I love high intensity training. I remember that from when I was playing ball much more regularly. So I took that and I applied it to the gym setting. I went from wanting to do 10 reps to 15 to, if I can do 15, how many can I do? I went from doing a 315-pound deadlift at 8 reps to 29 reps in one day. I went from 150 battle ropes to 1,900 battle ropes overnight because I decided that I wanted to fucking answer the question, if I can hold on to this little bit of discomfort for a little bit longer, if I can make it through all of this other horror in my life, what's 5 minutes of battle ropes? What's 10 minutes of battle ropes? What's 15 minutes of battle ropes? What is on the other side of this thing? And then all of a sudden, my clients show up and I'm still training. Now they want to beat the trainer. It's something that I've known since I started doing this work as a trainer, that everybody always wants to beat you want to know if you're it's that healthy company. I want to know if I can lift that big dude over there. Can I bench that? No, I don't know. But that's what it was. And now, how can I make this healthy? How is it not dog eat dog? But then if you're going to go, let's fucking go. And it became, if I did 50 reps of glute bridges, Stuart, one of my best friends, would do 55. Then I go 60. Then maybe he'd do 65. And then I get fucking mad and have to go 75 or 100 and just be like, fine.
You're not even feeling the pain anymore.
Right? And I'm like, fine, I have a gear you don't have. Let's go. And it's not because I want to beat Stuart. It's because it tickles the shit out of me to have to go to a place that I didn't know I could go, so that he's going to fucking go to a place and I then have to go again. And I just proved to myself 8 times in the same fucking workout that I lied to myself the first time I touched this exercise. If that's possible every single day, then there's nothing you can take from me anymore. You cannot fucking tell me anything. And then my client started to report that they felt better about themselves. They realized that they were answering questions about what they could or couldn't do in this world.
They didn't even have the question yet.
Right? It's the most beautiful thing was it was so natural to compete, because if I have to go to a place I've never been before, then I am only beating me every single time I touch this exercise. Yeah, in the process of this 90 minutes, I'm going to beat Stuart a few times. He's also going to beat his trainer a bunch. He's going to show himself that he can go to a place mentally so that he goes to a place physically. That can't be taken from you when you leave my gym. When it happens so fucking often, you start to not believe the bullshit.
Words
and you
don't mean
change your
anything
mindset
anymore.
Because now you can't tell me I can't. Because I keep fucking proving to myself that I can. That was the beauty of how this started. It became healthy competition because to better myself, I could push somebody else who in turn to better himself was going to have to fucking push me. And that's how Pitiful Fitness became known as Ethan's House of Pain, or EHOP, because it became, you're going to come in and suffer a little bit with us, but I'm going to meet you in that suffering. And that is...
Ethan does not tell you to do something unless he's doing it right beside you.
I train 3 times a day.
Out of that.
I train 3 times a day some days because I'm training with my clients.
I'm interrupting.
Yep.
If your trainer tells you to do something and then gets on their fucking tablet or their phone and does this, don't you pay that motherfucker a single fucking dime. They need to be there through every fucking rep. If they told you to do 8 to 12 of this, what did he just tell you? You don't know if 12's your maximum. You could do 27, but because you were like, he said he or she said do 8 to 12, I'm going to stop at 12. You've limited yourself. Your shitty trainer didn't. You limited yourself to 12 reps. What is 12 reps?
Yeah, what is my actual 12? That was the beauty of the question. Sometimes I would touch something that used to be a strength number for me and just send that motherfucker. I put 405 up for 19 reps one day just in competition with one of my football buddies, just for the absolute fuck of it. And we're both looking at each other going, 3 weeks ago.
Where did that come from?
3 weeks ago, that was a 5 rep day. Because I cannot say it enough. I'm going to keep stuttering because it drives me. It's fucking this. I am a specimen of a physical athlete. but it is this thing that I fucking made ironclad so that nobody can tell me. I have no ACL in my knee. I can dunk on a 10-foot net, and that's something I learned how to do through healing my fucking ACL-less 5 other teared knee. Like, I'm a motherfucker because I'm him here.
That's where it all starts. You know, we've covered a ton.
that was a lot.
But I want to see, you know, we're going to wrap this one up here. Mm-hmm. But what I want to do is I want to see how people respond. And I definitely want to have you back on the show. Are you willing to come back?
100%.
Oh, brother, I appreciate that.
We're going to go around the mic.
Around the mic. I'm going to crush this shit. Appreciate your time and more so, well, your time, because I always tell you guys to value your time, but more so the fact that you will not sugarcoat shit, because too many messages are diluted, dumbed down. We're worried about offending people, and the message never gets across. So no one, it's like you do the 8 to 12. No. There is no number when you talk. It is more, better, and come back with a stronger mind. He didn't say anything. He didn't tell you a training technique or go do this in the gym. He just says whatever you think you can do, it's less than what you can do, guaranteed. It's just what you do up here. And I want people to take that out of here. You heard a little bit of profanity. You heard some strong opinions. But if that's all you heard,
this wasn't for you.
This wasn't for you.
And I say that all the time. I share my story in the most tolerable and tangible way I can so I don't offend people, I don't hurt people, because there's things about my story that you don't need to know. Those are the horrors and the reality of what I do. But in that, like, if that's all you took from this, because when I tell you about how it feels to be abandoned by your best friend just because he left the house, that doesn't sound like a strong, confident man, except for I'm telling you as a strong, confident man that that's what it's like to exist as this man in this life. There is no weakness in sharing stories and being able to be vulnerable enough and empathetic enough to let you know that this is a real motherfucker here and sitting across from me. Those are two very different entities. I can still deliver my messages like this to you. But if you're not ready to listen, then you're already fucking mad.
That's the truth. Yeah, if your first response is to get mad, you haven't opened up your mind for a proper dialogue. If you have an excuse or a quick answer as to why what he's saying doesn't apply to you, you've already lost the battle. If there was no effort there, it was just well, I can't do that, or my situation is different, that's the biggest losing mentality out there. We've been programmed to lose because it's the path of least resistance. He's telling you he can give you a path with nothing but resistance, but you always come out a better person. So for the 1% of you that like that, I suggest you check out all of his links. Even if you don't ask him for any help, I think you need to start watching people like this, because that's changing your circle just by taking in the right kind of media. Because if what you look at during the day when you get up is, oh, this state of the world is shit. Oh, they're telling you fitness doesn't actually improve your life. You don't have to eat well. Why challenge yourself because you might fail and feel bad? If that's all you see all day, I know exactly what your tomorrow looks like. You wake up and you check what he just had to say, you're going to look at your day just a little bit different. So we're going to wrap that one up. You think we've offended enough people or inspired as many as we needed to?
Because I know we inspired. I know we offended. We're always going to do both.
I feel better than normal, and I usually don't need inspiration. But I feel like going to the gym right now, and I got to get on a fucking plane in 3 hours.
Just get on the plane and be mad at me when you get off the plane sore as shit.
I clenched the whole goddamn way. Thank God I'm sitting in business. Why? Because I didn't accept failure my whole fucking life, so I can sit in business by accident. Not with all you sweaty fuckers in the back who haven't gone to the gym.
He gets to be the sweaty fucker in business.
I get to be the sweaty fucker, but I got to seat this fucking wide, regardless of what it costs. Yeah, I'm a dick. That's why we invited him on. So we got... we need some... Oh, wait. We need to cue in some of the Team America there. All right. So we're going to wrap up there. Thanks again, Ethan, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Guarantee you we need a part 2 because even if, like I said, even if we just hit that 1%, they're going to have questions for you.
Yeah, please send them in.
Right on. All right. So that wraps this up. Once again, thank you to Central Social Hall for providing this awesome location. Thanks to Ethan for coming and telling his story and getting you guys all worked up, good or bad. Producer Mac for basically putting up with us and setting everything up to make it so I don't have to do anything to get work done.
He definitely laughed.
Definitely laughed, yes. What else can I tell you? Yeah, you know what? It's probably going to be a few weeks till we get another one of these done. I'm taking off. But yeah, let us know what you think of a show like this, because this is more the direction we want to go. It's going to be a lot more along the lines of, we're not trying to piss anybody off. We make the joke, but we want to push people to start questioning themselves in their lives. So I'd love you to put that in the comment. If you like what you heard here, or even the part you didn't like, let's open the dialogue to discuss why you didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I think we can leave it off there. We'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit that you already know. Looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say.
Absolutely.
So, Producer Mac, for Ethan, I'm Chris. All I ever wanted. We're out of here.